my heart. It was just really lovely to connect in person, and a number of new coaches joining, and Rudolph joined us. And we will not have everyone else miss out. So you can see that we're busy arranging the Cape Town event or two, and I'm hoping that Rudolph will join at least in October, but I think it's more than time for it's well time for us to connect anyway. And then we'll do a virtual connect for those who are not located in any of those two major locations. So, but before we go too far into this morning's section, and I'm not seeing Rudolph here yet, so hopefully we'll arrive in the next short while. But I would love to welcome Abongile, and we're going to be welcoming 3 new coaches in the next few weeks, and I guess between this month's coach event and next. And Pete has very kindly recommended him to us. I'm going to name that. And yeah, so he at short notice could join today, and I thought it was just a wonderful opportunity. So he knows that he's going to be put on the spot to do a short introduction. And I'm sorry, Abongile, that we're not going to have everyone introduce themselves to you, but we will find an opportunity where we'll do breakout rooms and a more social opportunity, because I think particularly with the 3 new joiners. So hopefully very soon you'll feel like you're part of this amazing team. So would you please just, be welcomed and share a little bit about yourself, where you find yourself this morning, and what you'd like us to know about you in maybe 5 minutes or so.
Thanks, Lisa. I don't think I'll take 5 minutes. I'll take less than that. Hi, everyone. My name is Abongile Sipondo. I'm based in the Eastern Cape. I was, like Lisa said, I was introduced to CoachMatching by Pete Williams, who is my coaching supervisor. I am a leadership coach and a coaching researcher. I'm based in the Eastern Cape in a small town called Queenstown. Some of you might be aware of Queenstown. So that's where I am. I've been coaching for the last couple of years. My background is in law. I studied law, and I worked for non-profit organizations up until 2020, when I decided to go to school to study coaching. So I did an MPhil in leadership coaching at University of Johannesburg, and which I completed in 2021. So I have been coaching since then. I am also a coaching researcher. I'm currently studying at Stellenbosch University, a business school, where I'm doing my PhD, specializing in AI coaching, whereby I developed an AI coach to help middle managers to improve their resilience. So I'm in the final stages of testing the AI chatbot. So yeah, in the nutshell, that's who I am. I think that's less than 5 minutes, and it's lovely to meet everyone, and I'm looking forward to connecting with all of you. Thanks, Lisa.
Thank you so much. Great. Yeah, and where to next? So I mentioned about the coach events. I also just wanted to reiterate the change that we're making in terms of how we will run the Coach Connects sessions versus the CPD events. So with the idea that the CPD events, being 90-minute learning opportunities, are also opportunities where you can receive a certificate of attendance and use that for your credential renewings, or between the different coaching bodies, you need to log events, and we thought we wanted to make it more conducive to that. So for the time that you spend. But as you saw in my message on the WhatsApp group, it does require that you actually attend. So unfortunately, it means that the recordings of the learning part will no longer be distributed if they are of that nature. I mean, if there's something else that we can share, we would record it. But in certain instances, if it's more a CPD learning session, then it won't be recorded. And so the Monday sessions, last Monday of the month, moved to 12 till 1. So it will just be a 1 hour connect session, and that will be business update and some opportunity to meet and share amongst ourselves. And then it will be quarterly for the CPD events. And it looks like it's going to be 4 to 5 on a Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken. I've had all the feedback. And I know that is going to be a problem for a couple of you who can only attend in the mornings. And I'm very sorry about that, but we had to try to accommodate as many of you as we could. Yeah, I think that's that. And then, I just want to mention that the City of Cape Town tender, the 3-year tender that actually was 2.5 years for us, has come to an end, or it closes today. There'll be the last of the invoice submissions, and I'm having a closeout conversation with Fritz and Monica in the HR team. But I really just wanted to say to many of you who've been part of that journey and coached individuals, leaders, managers, teams, done some mediation work, to really give kudos to that. I feel quite proud of this, and I guess this client and the projects that we worked on. It was what I joined CoachMatching to take on right from the very start. And it has been a gratifying experience. I think many of you can attest to the extraordinary individuals that you've coached and teams that you've worked with in a very tricky and trying system, organizational context and system. I'm seeing Deborah there too, even voice coaching specialization, which I was so chuffed to be able to say. We were asked, do you have someone who can assist you? And I said, absolutely, we can. So I think we've wowed the city, and including speaker events and coming to the internal coaching teams and doing learning sessions for them. So yeah, I celebrate that, and I will say thank you to each of the coaches who've participated in that over the time. And please hold thumbs, and we are hoping to be awarded the tender that we'll probably hear in about September, maybe before the end of the year. Yeah, hold fingers and toes that comes through as well for another 3-year tender. So I think those are the major things that I needed to speak about. I don't know if there are any questions before I hand over to Rulo for what he could share. Anything that is pressing that you need to ask? No. For those of you who have asked about the Corn Ferry training, I sadly don't yet have dates. I have put all the names forward, waiting for dates. I'm a little bit anxious about that as the timelines are quite tight, but we'll see there. But yeah, I also feel gratified by the ongoing request for opportunities with Corn Ferry. So we'll be able to debrief the KLFS assessments and soon the KL 360, the 360 assessments as well. And that just means that, we add to capacity. They always put their internal people forward first, but they seem to be very happy to use our team as well. So they are by far our top client in terms of revenue and the coaches' revenue. So it's great. Hopefully more sharing the love between more of you in the coming months and year. Thanks, Rulo, for joining us. I've just done a short introduction or a couple of business things, but I know that we asked Rulo to join us. Well, firstly, let me just say, in terms of the Cape Town coach event, Rudolph's going to be running, is it the Cape Town Marathon in October? And so he's going to be visiting the CSA office and then also make time available for the coach matching team. So hence that connect session on the Friday. But that doesn't mean that he's not continuing to meet one-on-one with Fritz, with each of the coaches in the meantime. And then we will also do a virtual event for those who are located elsewhere. Roloff, I know you were going to share an update from your side, particularly in terms of how we're going to move with email addresses and anything else that you feel is important this morning.
Yeah, thanks, Lisa. And my apologies to everyone for being a few minutes late. I had a meeting that ran over a little bit, so apologies for that. Nice to see more faces that I've actually met in person now, especially on Friday with the coach event in Joburg as well. So yeah, every time there's a few more recognizable faces. So looking to continue that. From Lisa, really just a very quick one. So one of the risk areas that we've just identified from a involvement perspective was that there's a lot of communication happening between coaches and clients, and I think everyone's utilizing Gmail addresses, and through some of the sessions with the individual coaches, I think it's a repetitive theme that's been brought up. And so one of the solutions that we believe can make life a little bit easier is to move into the direction of issuing CoachMatching.com email addresses linked with all the necessary Microsoft licensing and all of that to the coaches. I think there's a few areas and a few reason specific or the reasoning behind that is not only just the way that it looks. I think there's obviously a benefit for us when communication runs through a proper CoachMatching.com domain, but I think there's also potential to be in control of the communication and emails and get it backed up. All of those kind of things, I think, just makes it a whole lot easier. If it is in Gmail, everyone's got his own arrangements, which we don't necessarily know. I mean, a computer might be stolen and we don't know what kind of information might be lost and all of those things. So if you do get communication from a CSR IT perspective at some point, the idea is as soon as we can get the domain shifted into our domain, then we're going to proceed and do email addresses for all the coaches. That comes with the same standard CSR open volume Microsoft license. So Teams and all of these kind of things, SharePoint, OneDrive, all of it will be sort of as a standard package that we'll just roll out to all the coaches. And I think then the idea is obviously not to necessarily replace all your individual communication channels, but where we do have a very specific coach matching communication thread or where anything is happening around that, it just makes it a bit easier for us to make sure that content is safe. It is stored in the cloud. Emails will be backed up automatically into Job Suite, and it makes it a lot easier if there is for some reason a replacement of a laptop or anything like that. It just makes it a little bit easier. So we've already done most of the work. We're just literally waiting for the team at eNetworks to assist us with one or two small things, and I think then that process can kick off. I know many of the coaches have also issued requests through to Paul in terms of a hardware refresh. I've asked Paul just to hold back a little bit because of the licensing side of it. So as soon as we've done the licensing, what we'll do is we'll do a bit of request through to just get an indication who would be or who are looking for what kind of device refresh. There's no benefit for us in doing one-on-one quotes. So we'll bulk them together. We'll have a sort of a window where anyone and everyone that wants to look at hardware refresh can put those through, and then we'll get a single proposal out, so that these are the kind of devices that we can find, these are the prices, these are the comparatives, and obviously if we've done the emails, we can proceed and actually do a bit of a setup on those, get the existing Microsoft licenses that we'll issue, we'll load onto those, and then we can assist and pass those devices on. So apologies for that taking a little bit longer. It is purely just at this stage waiting for all the domains and all of that to transfer into our own Microsoft tenant. So I think that is sort of just a very, very quick update what we want to do from an IT and a risk and a support perspective. I think in terms of rolling that out to clients, I think, Lisa, that's between Tanith and yourself. We will try and just to understand what impact it will have on everyone individually if you start migrating communication from existing email boxes into a new CoachMatching one. But I think that once again, it's something that we'll implement over time. The idea is not to make it more complicated. It's actually just to make it a bit safer and to make it easier. And I do believe if we can just from a CSR perspective take ownership of the whole Microsoft licensing side of it, it's supposed to make everyone's lives a little bit easier. Sorry, Lisa, you muted.
Yeah, I'm just thinking off the cuff, and maybe if you suspect that there are very important emails that you need to retain, perhaps you can forward it to your new email address. It will be your name at coachmatching.com, so that you can retain it there.
Sorry, Lisa, just on that, I think what might happen is I think there is an import facility. So everything that is linked to that, it shouldn't be a major issue to literally just import that entire Gmail box into sort of absorb it into the new email address. So, but I'll get Paul to do a nice mail for us and investigate all the opportunities.
Okay, that's great.
There's also standard backups already set up. So I mean, emails will be backed up. If you will have access to OneDrive and SharePoint and all of these, which will be properly looked at, backed up, and all of these kind of things. So I think it just makes it a little bit more safer for everyone to save any coach matching related data. And obviously, I mean, you can store all your own personal stuff in there as well.
No, that's brilliant. Would we be able to see availability if we're setting up time with someone, the way that you can within an ecosystem? Would you have diary availability?
I guess it'll depend on every individual whether they use the Outlook calendar or not. So yeah, I think there we might just have to have a look at whether the calendar applications that everyone uses, whether that is compatible, and then which is the main one. But I mean, obviously, you should be able to see availability, whether it's accurate or not. I think that's more just the consideration.
Yeah. Okay. I must say I really welcome that. I often have problems when I send out bulk mails to Gmails where they bounce back. It takes it as a spam. So this way we can set up proper groups and just the comms much more professional. And then also I want to reiterate the importance of using the CoachMatching brand in communication. So I think it is our opportunity to refresh from that point of view. We will update you on the fonts, on the email signature, and then just standard, you know, when you're communicating with a coachee or a client, that it just looks very professional, not just one-liners, you know, like from your phone, but when you're communicating with clients, that your email signature is included.
I think, Lisa, maybe just following on from there. So the idea is to sort out the emails and the licensing, get all of that done. The next step would be to have control over the website. There's a bit of a refresh necessary, that we'll look at the website. There's obviously a lot of new content. So if I can, maybe just in advance, there will be a request going to the coaches, maybe just to make sure that your shortened CV or your description and all of that is accurate, because I think it was mentioned at a previous coach event that we sort of run coach profiles a little bit more aggressively through the website, maybe have a few coaches of the month, and have an extra sort of process where we introduce the coaches a bit more aggressively from a branding and a website perspective. So there will be a request, but in the meantime, maybe everyone can maybe just double check that their shortened CV or their profile is sort of ready for when we do request that, and that will start circling on the website soon as well.
And perhaps I just need to mention, Roelof, we've got Philip and his team helping us with some of the templates. So we're going to put together a much more professional looking template, and then that will be the kickoff to that update.
Lisa, have you given feedback on the interview process for the business development head role?
No, I haven't. So you're welcome to do that.
So so there's already been a few interviews specifically for the HOD position, business development. I think there's still 3 or 4 more interviews pending. From there, we will have a shortlist. We will do some psychometrics, and then there's a second round interviews where Susie and myself will then sit with Fritz to finalize the process. So yeah, I think that's where we are. We had hoped to get to 30 June, but the diaries didn't all work together. So, but we've progressed quite well in terms of these interviews, and we'll have the shortlist hopefully by the end of this week. The second that will then proceed with round psychometrics and round 2 interviews. So yeah, very excited about that as well.
Any questions at this point? Okay. All right, so that's it for now. Welcome to the others who've joined. I'm seeing Mpumi. I think that's it. Some have left. And I know some need to leave now. So for those who are not attending the CPD portion, you're welcome to go now. For others, go and grab a quick cup of tea, and because the next 90 minutes we'll be in session with Lucille, and we'll welcome her in a few minutes. Thank you. Thanks, Rulo, for being here.
Thanks, Lisa. Bye, everyone.